Thank you, Sam. We're going to move on because we're running slightly late, and we have joining us again via Zoom. We've got 3 Zoomers today. Is that the term for multiple Zoomers? A gaggle of Zoomers. But we have 3 Zoomers today. And the next man, also a Glen, 2 Glens in a row. Glen Coutinho, extensive experience in finance and real estate spanning over 2 decades. Glen Coutinho is a leading figure in the Hawthorn Q area. He's renowned for his expertise in housing and investment finance, and Glen's client-centred approach has earned him numerous awards and recognition as one of the top staff trainers in both Australia and New Zealand. A dedicated family man, Glen enjoys spending his quality time with his children and his wife when he's not excelling in real estate sales. His accolades include being voted among the top agents in Australia and receiving prestigious awards for his outstanding achievements in the industry. Now, Glen is here to talk to us today about a client for life and using AI to stay and hunt for the listings. Do we have him on board? Are you there, Glen? I see are you at the races?
Hey. Yeah, how are you? Can you hear me?
How's
the volume?
Yeah, no, the volume's great. Thank you. Where are you?
Well, I'm in California. My office is in Beverly Hills, and I'm actually just at home, actually. I got home, it's about 7 o'clock over here, so, we're just about dinner time.
Happy days, and thank you for joining us then, so late in proceedings. So you're talking today about a client for life and staying in the hunt, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right, yep.
Well, I'll leave you to your presentation, Glen, but thank you for joining us.
Okay, and you just tell me when you're sick of me, you want me to get off, okay?
I will do. You may be waiting for some time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. It's great to be here, and I appreciate you. I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but great to be chatting to you. I do want to talk to you about my philosophy on Client for Life and what I do with my customers. This is actually coming up to my 40th year in real estate, so I am getting very old, but I still have a passion for people and a passion for the hunt. And, of course, when Ken rang me and said, listen, I want you to do this talk, and he emailed the topic, and I thought it was A1, which I think is barbecue sauce over here. And I thought, what does he want me to talk about A1? And then he said, no, it's AI. And of course, if you guys know me, you know AI and me I don't really know what it is. So I'm going to try and see if I can walk my way through it. I think my brother-in-law, Nick, is there, my ex-partner. Hey, Nick, if you're there, and James. And of course, Annabelle Feng, if I see you in the crowd somewhere, probably one of the best agents I've ever met in my life. But I'm in America at the moment. I've got an office in Beverly Hills. I left the R.T. Edgar business about 5 years ago to come to the United States, not by choice, but I've got 3 children in real estate, and then the last 2 told me to stick that, decided to become rock stars and wanted to become country music artists. So that's why we're over here in America. We decided to launch a real estate office, my daughter and I, and we opened an office right in the middle of Beverly Hills, which has been terrific. And I had 4 years with the beautiful Harcourts brand, some great people there. I just rebranded a week ago to Rodeo Realty, which is one of the sort of the big boys in town. Their last 3 sales were 70, 80 and 90 million. So it's a really big company to be under. And we're 1 street off Rodeo. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm coming up to year number 40 in real estate. Coming over to a new country when you know nobody in real estate. It's great when you're young at 30 and 40, but when you're hitting 60, it's a tough gig. So I had to really restart my career. And all I've done over here to build my brand and business is do exactly what I did back in Melbourne, which is spoil the hell out of people the day I met them and create a lasting first impression. And that's what I've been doing over here, and that's getting me business, it's getting me listings. This is my mindset, which would not surprise you, but my normal day gets up, 8 o'clock, out the door at 8 and on the phone straight away. Generally, by the time I get to the office by 8:45, I've done the following things. I've posted something on every social media platform, and I do that 7 days a week. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, WeChat. So all 7 of those I try and post without fail 7 days a week, and that got me a ton of business last year, increased my profile. And that's one thing I never miss. I haven't missed that for nearly 3 years, right up until Christmas Day. And it's not really about real estate. It's really about people and the passion of people going along the journey. So that's one of the things I would implore you to do for your business moving forward, is to make sure that you touch every social media point every single morning. And I'm 59, so you can't tell me you're too old to do it. It's a young man's game or young lady's game, but it doesn't matter how old you are. You've got to post every single day. I spend about 15 minutes a day doing that, and then I get into the office, and then I get on the hunt. A typical morning for me after that is to get on Facebook and then wish all my clients happy birthday. I try to send out a text to most of them. I like to do it at 12:01 midnight because I like to be the first person to wish somebody happy birthday. So at 12:01, my clients will get a birthday message to say happy birthday, and then I'll start texting people on their birthdays. I've got most of my clients' wedding anniversaries, so they'll all get a message from me as well. 2 days ago, I sent some flowers out to one of my clients for her wedding anniversary. She's in Australia, and that's 37 years in a row. I have not missed her wedding anniversary for 37 years straight. Because what I want to tell you is that it is a long game. You can actually program that into AI now. My AI is my daughter, Brooke. She's my artificial intelligence. But you can program that into AI so that you have reminders popping up on your phone. But you don't want to automate it. You've got to be very careful you don't automate those type of things, because I've got clients that are on their second and third husband and wife, and I don't want to mix up the wedding anniversary. So just be careful with that sort of stuff. And then I try and get those messages out fast. I also, it's weird to say, but I have the anniversary of all the clients. The weird thing about real estate is that you end up, a lot of people pass away in your career, and I record all the dates. I've sold for people, like yesterday was a client of mine, Colin Kempster. His father passed 13 years ago, and yesterday I messaged all 3 children to say, hey, it's 13 years ago since your dad passed. I just want to say I'm thinking of you. And I do that with all my customers all the time. So when I sell a house for an estate, and it's the estate of Mary Jones, I'll record that date, and I make sure that I remind them all the time. The last one I did, I messaged the 3 sons, the daughter, and then I messaged all 8 grandchildren to say, hey, it's the anniversary of Billy's passing. I just thought I'd let you know in case you've forgotten. Most of them had forgotten. So they're the little things, the touch points that you have to do in your business to make it a non-contested listing business. And you can do that very easily. As I said, you can program it now with AI, or you can just do it the old-fashioned way in a calendar. I think the younger people will do that via AI, but that's certainly a really important part of your business. My mindset is now then to get into the office and religiously 5 days a week, a simple 50 phone call business. No matter how good you are in real estate, unless you're making those touch points, you're not going to get any business. And you need to be running 10 to 15 listings at any one time. So in a younger day, when I started my career, I was working with the great James Tostovan, and we would do about 150 calls a day when I was in my 20s. 150 a day, 5 days a week. Sometimes he would do 200. I couldn't keep up with him. I'm a bit older now, so I'm down to 50 a day, but never less. Never less than 50, and that should be your benchmark. And then from there going forward, I want to make an impression everywhere I go. So if I go to a restaurant now, how did I build a brand in Beverly Hills? We have 40 agents working for us now. The goal is to get to 100 by the end of the year. But we created a bunch of raving fans fast. Make sure that I know everyone around my community. So every restaurant I go to, and you can tell by my stomach that I go to a lot, every restaurant I go to, I write a thank you card. I write to the waiter. I write a thank you letter to the restaurant, to the owner, because the owner of the restaurant generally owns a lot of real estate. And one of the guys said to me, he said, Glenn, you're the only person that's ever asked me my kids' names. Yesterday I got a referral for $6 million from a guy. He's a plumber, and I met him at a listing appointment. There was 4 agents called in. I stopped and spoke to the plumber. I got his name, got his phone number, I got his kids' names. And then he came to my office 2 days later and referred me into a $5 million house. And he said to me, Glenn, 5 agents came into this house. He said, I'm just a shitty plumber in the corner. He said, you're the only person that asked me my name. You texted me, you asked me my kid's name. You actually took an interest in me. He said, the other 4 agents walked straight past me as if I didn't even exist. That's the key. That's the key to your business. It's not necessarily the wealthy guy. It's the little people around him that refer you. So just outside my office, a few doors up, we're in Beverly Hills, so lots of security guards there. I always stop, buy a coffee for the security guards, talk to them, say hello in the morning, bring them in a coffee. And one of the guys told me, he said, listen, I've been standing in this corner for nearly 2 years. You are the first person that's ever spoken to me. You're the first person that knows my name and my wife's name. And he's referred me business. These are the things that make a difference in real estate. It's the journey that you take in somebody's life. A couple of days ago, I sent 3 lots of donuts out. One to a little kid. He's 8 years old. I haven't missed his birthday ever. I sold for his mum. I sold for his father. Another one for a lady, Terry. Her son's 27 now. I still send him donuts. I've been sending him donuts since he was 5. I've never, ever missed his birthday. and her other 2 sons, and her birthday, and her wedding anniversary. Because I'm people fanatic. To be honest, people go, do you love real estate? No, not really. Do you like houses? Can't stand them. Do you want to see my house? No, thank you. I'm in it for the people journey, for the long lifetime connection you make with people that takes you all the way through. So during a normal day, I'll ring a couple of divorce lawyers, I'll ring a couple of bankers, introduce myself. I'm on the hunt looking for business. It's not an easy game. There's 2,000 agents in Beverly Hills all chasing the same stuff. So you got to stand out. That's why I live in a suit and tie. I always go to work dressed up, shiny shoes, suit and tie, 5 days a week, because you never know who's going to walk into your office and want to do business. And if it's a lawyer, I want to look ready for business. So if you don't know what you're doing, just look like you know what you're doing. That's a really good start. So think about that. By the time I get to the office by 9:30 in the morning, I've posted on every social media platform. I've probably sent out 15, 20 texts. I've wished all my clients happy birthday, and I've probably been in front of 50,000 people before I hit the desk, before some people actually crawl out of bed. And that's where you want to get to in your business, to run 10 to 15 listings at any one time. That's the goal. There's no business in buyer business. You've got to run listings. And to run listings, you've got to hunt. And what I like is if I meet somebody now and they say to me, Glenn, we're not selling for 5 years, that's mine. I already know it's mine, because the competition over here is not as good as it is in Australia. So the best thing about it is here is not many people will go 5 years. You call somebody 5 years every 2 weeks for 5 years. I had a lady that I just sold some land for, actually back in Victoria on the river. I've kept in touch with this woman for 30 years. Imagine chasing somebody for 30 years to get a listing. Most people would think you're mad or that you're a stalker, one or the other. But ideally you want to be in the hunt until you're dead. That's my goal. Stay in the hunt until I'm gone. And you got to have that excitement about you. That's why I avoid newspapers, avoid bad news. How's the market? Bloody fantastic. Because I don't want to know about it. I can't change it, so what? Who cares, right? Think about this today. What did you do that's special for somebody? I still now, outside my office, I still walk up and down the street and put coins in people's meters so they don't get booked, right? And I leave a card on their dashboard saying, hey, mate, your meter was expired. I paid it for you, and then I leave my business card. Because I've had a listing because of it. 3 times I've written to Qantas and to airlines. Every time I get on a plane, I get the air hostess name or air hostess name. I write a thank you letter to Qantas or American Airlines. 3 times I've sold houses for the parents of people on planes because they said, oh yeah, you sent me a thank you letter. Such a powerful thing. Do you know how many times I get thank you letters? Never. I've had emails from airlines back to say, thanks for acknowledging Mary on the plane. We've promoted her to first class. We've promoted her to Ish International. And then 2 months later, I end up getting the mum's house for sale. So I kind of leave my mark. I'm like a cat that wheezes everywhere. You know, I leave my mark everywhere I go. If I go to a hairdresser, I have got some hair left. I deliver a box of donuts when I leave. If I go to the vet, I'll deliver something. If I go to the doctors, I will deliver some chocolates to say thank you. When my kids go to the dentist, I follow up with chocolates saying, thanks for looking after my family. Glen, Coutinho, Rodeo Realty. Everywhere I go. Last time I bought a car, which I know I'd love to say I'm in Beverly Hills, it was a Ferrari, but it was just a Jeep, right? But when I bought the Jeep and I left the dealership, I delivered 15 boxes of pizzas to the dealership, to all the staff to say, thanks for looking after me. These are the little things that make a difference to your career. I'm a fanatic on delivering cakes. So when I close a deal, I send a cake to the buyer, the seller, the other agent. I send a cake to, well, you would call it the lawyer's office and title office. So 5 chocolate cakes go out every time a property is settled. And a lot of times I will send out cakes with my face on it. A client of mine had a party last year. I had about 80 people there, and I delivered 75 little cupcakes with my face on every one of them. And he rang me to say, this is a really weird thing, Glenn, but everyone's licking your face. How good's that? How do you get yourself spoken about at these events is to get out and spoil people. Don't worry about the value of the house. That's the last thing I want to know. Don't even worry about comparable sales. Meet the client, get them to fall in love with you. See, I kind of fall in love with every person I meet. I like people, good, bad, pretty, ugly, skinny, fat, short. I love them all because I want their business. I want their listing. And so I met this lady today, and she met 3 people today. I was the only one that got her kids' names, her wedding anniversary, her dog's name. Her dog's getting a gift with the name on it, a dog bowl with the dog's name on it. I know her football side. I didn't ask her about the house. That's what I forgot. I forgot to ask her about the house. I know everything about her, though. And I'm on the journey with her now forever. So when somebody says, what do you think of my house? I go, I don't know. Who's your football side? Like, let's talk about the person. Eye contact is really important with people, and I spend most of my time hugging, kissing, shaking hands. I met 3 agents today, and I gave them all a hug. They thought I was a weirdo. I don't do handshakes. That's boring, right? So walk up, give somebody a hug, get to know them, become their friend, find out their son's name, what is their passion. I just sent out 3 gifts this morning, really small gifts. One is a client of mine who loves baseball, and I bought him a book on Babe Ruth, the baseballer. One of my clients has got twins. I bought a small book on twins and posted it to him. And then the other client just has got a horse, and I bought like a brush with the horse's name engraved on the brush. One of my client's daughters became a doctor. I bought her a badge saying Dr. Jones and delivered it to the dad for the daughter. I know this sounds crazy. This is how I get on my listings. And you become, and what you build is an attraction business where business comes to you. And you can embrace AI to do that for you because it can do the stuff that you don't want to do. For example, the things I hate doing is writing copy. If you're a copywriter, you're out of business because you just press a button now and AI will just write all the words for you. Fantastic. One less job for me to do. It means that if you are going to use AI, you've got to be smart about it. AI has to reduce the legwork so you can focus on the hunt. Right? So you can focus on the hunt, you can focus on the chase of real estate. That's the business you're in. I'm still the only person I've ever met, because I've met myself, is that when I go to, in my car, I've got listing agreements. When I go to the football, I'm a Carlton fan, as you know, tragic, but it's a good year for us. When I go to the football, I take a listing agreement in my football bag. All my cars, my wife's cars, all have listing agreements in it. I carry a listing agreement everywhere I go because I'm a hunter of real estate and of listings. And then when you get that client, you want to be all over them. So for me, if I have a listing and I'm handling your listing, it's a daily touch point. So every listing I have, I speak to them every single day. Sometimes twice a day. I've got some clients I speak to 3 times a day. I love messaging my client, sending them a message at midnight to say, hey, I'm still thinking about you. I'm working on your house. When I do an open house, I get there on time. I leave a chocolate cake for the owners. I leave presents on all the kids' beds with a note saying, thanks for cleaning up your house. I want to spend my whole life spoiling people. You'd have to spend a fortune. I've never bought anyone a $100 bottle of champagne in my life. I always buy the cheap shit, right? I never spend a fortune. Just nice little touches along the way. But, one of my clients, was having has announced that they were pregnant, having a baby. And nearly every week for the first 9 months, every 2 weeks, for the first 9 months, I delivered a gift. Like baby bottle, nappies, a bib. Every time they went to the mailbox, there was something there for me. And I always do it for the clients that are having especially their first child, not necessarily number 2 or 3, because who cares about the second or third child, right? But the first child, I try to make a big deal out of it. When the baby's born, a blanket will turn up with the baby's name on it. And then every year after that, that child will get a gift. I had a client sell a house with me last year. He's 18, and he had a gift from the day he was born. His uncle is a realtor. He listed the house with me. He said, I can't go to anyone else. Glen has never, ever missed, ever, my birthday. It's much nicer to wish somebody a happy birthday than it is ring up and say, do you want to sell your house? Because then they come to you. So that's really important. The other thing I focus on a lot is to have great relationships with my competitors. And I've done that over here. I know most of the agents, all the Altman boys selling Sunset. I've gone and met them all, shook hands with them, become their friend. They're not my competitors. If I go past their boards and their boards have fallen over, I actually park, get out of my car, stand the board up, take a photo and say, hey, mate, your board fell over. I fixed it for you. That's the most important thing. I know my clients, my competitors' birthdays, their date of births, their wedding anniversaries, and I send them a message. Because they're not competitors to me. They're just in the same business as me, and there's enough to go around. And I'd ask you to think about the way you run your business. My car's branded. If you go past my car, it's got Rodeo Realty on the front, side, back, top. Everywhere I go when I park my car, It's branded. When I go out, I know the valet guy's name. When I go to the restaurant, I know the waiter's name. That's how you have to be in your little community, in your market. Every single shop I go into, I make sure I get their name and I make sure I send a thank you note. Thank you card, I write it on the spot. When I'm in the pursuit of a listing, I try to send out a handwritten card and I wax seal it. You guys know what a wax seal is, right? I wax seal it and send it. Because if you get 15 or 20 letters in the mail, they're always bills, right? Trust me, I've got 6 kids. They're all bills. But if I get one wax seal, that's the first thing I'm opening. So my suggestion is, how do you catch people's attention? How do you get them? My goal is to get you to fall in love with me in 5 minutes. Fall in love with me to be your agent. And I'm very direct with people. I'll just say to them, listen, are you happy for me to be your agent? Can I represent you? Is there any reason why you won't let me represent you? Straight to the point. Nobody wants an agent that can't close, trust me. You need to be at the house. You need to ask for the business. When they say to me, oh, Glenn, can you go back and do a report? I said, well, what for? It's like 30 pages of crap. Just give me the job. I never do those listing reports. I just sit and pitch. Guy goes, oh, can you come back to me with a submission? Yeah, here's my submission. It's 5% and the marketing's $5,000. What else do you want to know? That's it, right? Simple as that. Let's have a cup of tea. Let's go out for a beer. That's what the business is about. You guys, you get caught up in doing reports and listing reports and don't get trapped into what is my house worth? I avoid that question like the plague. What's my house worth? What do you want for it? Well, I want 8. Well, okay, let's have a go. Well, is it worth 8? Well, I don't know if it's worth 8, but let the market speak. Do you want me as your agent? I will list it at 8. I promise you I'll tell you the truth. How about that? These are just little things that I'm imploring you to maybe consider changing. Remember, I came to another 10 minutes, thanks. I came to another country. I don't know a single person. So how do we start a business and grow it fast to 40 agents? I think in our 3rd year, we did about $4 million in fees. How do you do that? You just got to get out and hustle. I had to go back to what I was doing when I was 20, suit up, brand your car, best dressed in town, and get out and meet as many people as you like. Go to all the offices, meet all the agents, never miss a sales meeting. When I was the worst agent and the best agent, either way, I never missed a sales meeting. I just don't miss. No excuse. I've got agents and I get, oh, I'm sick, dog died, car broke down. I heard them all. Don't miss the meeting. Try to get to every appointment 30 minutes early. All the basics of real estate that for those of you that are as old as me would know that. And I implore you to stay in the hunt.
Do you mind if we field a few questions from the audience?
Yeah, sure. Fire away.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm just talking to it's like a wall. So
no, that's all right. I got the first one. You're obviously relationship related. I picked that up from the 4,500 people. You know their kids' names and the names of their dogs. How do you retain that information?
That's 35,000.
35,000.
It's a lot. Well, I mean, it's all in my calendar. It's all in my diary. It pops up in my calendar every morning. And it's also in Top Producer. I have a database of top producers. Most of my clients' files are some of my clients are 7 pages long. 7 pages of notes about that client. Like one lady messaged me yesterday saying, thanks for my birthday message, Glenn, 29 years straight. Unbeatable. That's where you want to be.
So do you record the information after you've met them or like...
Yeah, I never write it down in front of them. So if I'm with somebody, I'm not going to write down their date of birth.
Of course, yeah.
I was with a girl yesterday and I was talking to her and I said... yeah, I'm a Capricorn, I'm a bit strange. She goes, oh, I'm such and such. She says she was born in December. And I said, December the 3rd? She goes, no, the 5th. So I just said it to myself 3 times, wrote it down. I never write it down in front of them. I get the birthdays when I go to the house. And what I do is I ask the kids, when's Mum's birthday? When's Dad's birthday? And the kids just spill the beans to me. So I don't ask the parents and I never record it in front of them because it looks a bit dicky when you're recording it in front of them.
Yeah.
I try and write it down when no one's looking, put it in my system. But I'm never going to miss. I met this lady yesterday. She's a lawyer. We're talking about immigration. And I said, how's your year been? She goes, pretty ordinary. My father passed away. And we started talking about it. And I asked her 2 questions. Oh, can you remember what date he passed? She said 11th of January. I said, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. What was his name? And she told me his name. Do you know I'm the only person that asked his name? And I've written that in my calendar. I'm going to message her every year forever because I just think that's a good thing to do. But most people would never ask. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Sorry to hear that. Next, let's get on with business. It's not about the listing. The listing will come to you uncontested if you get this right.
Glenn, I've spent quite a bit of time in the US. How do they deal with an Aussie like you?
They like me. You know, I'm really popular over here. Nobody in Australia like me much, but over here, they don't even know what colour I am. They think I'm kind of milk chocolate. So,
Mate,
no,
I'd
my
like you too if
accent.
you picked up my signs.
Walk in the park with the accent. And, you know, I just say it as it is. So that's, you know, it's a good thing. An Australian over here is a winner. I should have come here 25, 30 years ago.
Excellent. We've got Emily Morgan, EXP Australia. She's got a question for you, Glenn.
Hey,
Glen.
Emily.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not Emily. It's actually...
It's Trish.
She's handing the mic over.
Probably
Hey,
following
mate.
on.
How are ya?
Hello, good, thanks. Probably following on from Pete's question, what do you see as a key difference between the Australian market and the US market?
So the best thing about the US market is you get 5.5 to 6%, right? And the average sale price in Beverly Hills is can go from 5 to 100 million. There's like 8 houses on the market now at 90 and 80 million. So, you know, you can get lucky over here, and it's a game changer over here. The real estate market is a lot more complicated because you can buy a house over here and then you can renegotiate the price in escrow. It took me a while to understand that. In Australia, it's very fast paced and it's very professional, and there's no part-timers in Australia. At Rodeo Real Estate, we have nearly 1,300 agents. The local office down the road has 160 agents. My competitor has 500 agents next door. So in our office at RT Edgar with Nick and Paul and James, Annabelle, we had 25 agents. That was a decent sized office. 25 agents here, you're dead. You got no chance because you're competing against companies with hundreds and hundreds of them. Part-timers, taxi drivers, everyone has a license. So it is a pretty competitive business, but it's very transparent over here.
Glenn, we've got a question from Michael Watson for you.
Both. Yeah, we've got one from me and then one from someone else, James, that knows you by the sounds of it. My question is, from your experience in the US, your unique differentiator is very human-centric. If you existed 100 years ago, sounds like you'd still be an amazing agent. What's the opposite? What are you seeing some of your, competitors bringing in from an emergent technology perspective that maybe is not your brand or your approach, but you're going, oh, that actually was pretty impressive. That's pretty new. I think might be successful.
Look, I am old school. I think I can see my brother-in-law, Paul Walker, in the crowd there. We're both old school. We hit the phones all day. Some of our competitors down here use robots to call. But I'm not listing my house with a robot, but they do use robots to call. And they have robots to diary your systems, which is great for a diary, but real estate will always be you making the call, your voice, you knowing the wife's name, you knowing the kid's name, the dog's name. Robot's never going to know that. I'm never going to lose a listing to a robot, promise. But they do a lot of that here. A lot of stuff is automated. Your phone rings every day and it's a robot trying to connect you to an agent. And I hang up. Most people hang up. So you got to remember that the call has to be the person that they love in order to get the business.
Got a question from James.
Mr. G, how are you, mate?
Hey, Jimmy, how are you, mate?
Good, buddy. How are you, buddy?
So, for example, mate, you became a client of mine, right? You were my business partner. I love you to death. Have I ever missed your birthday, your wife's birthday, your kids' birthdays?
No, mate, my wife still thinks you're stalking her, but it's all good.
She loves me more than you, mate. You know that.
She does, mate. She does. And the kids love your cakes too, buddy. Don't worry. Good on you. Mate, just a quick one. Obviously, having worked together before and knowing how many calls we have to smash out and we're always on the road meeting clients or whatever else, is all this tech that's obviously moving super quickly, is that expected? Are you expected to change quickly as an individual agent, given you're on the road so much, or is your crew around you, or is the company doing it for you?
I don't think I'm going to change much because I'm probably 59. I think I'm 59, right? All my young agents are on top of it. So anyone in their 20s and 30s, they're all over it. They've got. See, I thought ChatGPT was Anne Mackey in the office who wouldn't shut up, right? All the young guys now in the office are using all that technology to write ads, describe houses. Obviously, you can't change the photo of the house, but like most of the ladies in our office, they use AI to do their photos. They get the photo, you got this wrinkly old girl in the photo, and next thing you know, she looks 18 again. They use all those programs, and that makes such a difference for their business. And I think all the young agents are getting right on top of that. I think for me and our age group, we're probably just going to be old-fashioned, and we're probably going to do a little bit of AI, but we're probably still going to be into relationship building, which is getting out and pressing the flesh and meeting people. I mean, somebody comes to my open house now, I don't have a robot send a message. I make a video. Hey, James, Esther, thanks for coming to my open house today. It was great to meet you. I'll make the video at the open and I will send it out to you, me personally, with me in it. There are competitors that do the same thing and the robot says it. But I ain't listening to my house with a robot.
Yeah, very good. We've got one more question for you. I'm conscious you're losing light over there. This one's from Richard.
Yep.
Hey Glenn, Richard here. Just wondering, do you still pull out the phone book referral packs?
I do, yes. So I've got the my testimonial book has now got just on 6,000 in it, and I've got a printout of most of them. So if I go to somebody's house, I might take 200 letters. If you go on, I have stepped that up a little bit because if you go on to Instagram, I have a page called The People Lover, and on that page is all my testimonials tagged, printed, typed, so I can send somebody to that page or I can give them the hard copy as well. So, but yes, I will always send in a dozen testimonials.
Fantastic. Thank you, Glenn, so much for your time today. Thanks for giving us, 40 minutes and just sharing your knowledge, especially around the relationship. We really appreciate it. We will leave you to your evening.
The thing I wanted to say to you is it translates to different countries. So I message all my clients in Australia, New Zealand, America, New York, every hotel I've been in around the world. I still message the concierge, the owners. I've just a sort of property in South Africa coming up because I keep in touch with people. Wherever they go, I stalk them. Here's the thing about, AI is the critical thing, right? Do you know how AI works? This is the thing I want you to think about with AI, is in most cases, most of my agents, they go and they take a photo of themselves. You guys probably do this, right? You take a photo of yourself and then you press AI and next thing you know, you look completely different, right? Correct? Has you seen that before? You guys have all seen that, right? Where they take the photo. Let me show you my version of AI, right? I go on, I take my photo, I press a button, right? Shit, I've got hair. How good's that? That's AI. Fantastic, right? That's all I need to do. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.
We'll have to work on the AI hair ads.